Welcome everybody to the X Factor podcast today on this Tuesday afternoon, morning, wherever you are. You already know what today is. It's Tuesday. We gotta be talking about Monday Night Raw from last night. A lot of good stuff to talk about. Big return. Money in the Bank news. World title news. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. And if you want any updates on anything you want to interact with, my Twitter is xfactormg5654. So if you can interact, updates, anything, they're right there on the Twitter. So we're gonna get right into it here. Seth Rollins World Title Heavyweight, the World Heavyweight Championship Open Challenge. Seth Rollins came out. It ended up not happening. Finn Balor took him out from behind, which gives really good heat for Finn Balor coming into Money in the Bank, because how last week went with the fans in some people's eyes hijacking Monday Night Raw with Finn Balor's promo, and then next week he comes out and takes out Seth Rollins, and pretty much creates heat, which helps the rivalry tremendously. And like Seth said later on that night, that's the Finn Balor that he knows. That's the Finn Balor that I think we've been wanting for years now, since his injury. We just haven't had that type of Finn Balor like that. But he had 3 coup de grace over Seth Rollins. Finn did that to Seth, and it was, Seth was not able to compete last night, but he is now able to compete tonight against Braun Breaker. So, overall, that little first segment stuff, I think it really benefits Finn Balor for heat and everything, so that's some pretty good stuff there. But then they had a backstage interview. Seth Rollins after try to find Finn Balor, and then boom, Finn Balor attacks him again, takes him out, and I'm liking how they are giving Finn Balor these segments and how he's attacking Seth Rollins, giving him a big, strong push, looking really strong going into Money in the Bank. I think that's what they needed to do for Finn Balor for a while, so good thing we get to see that. So, Miz after that, they went straight to the commentary table with Kevin Patrick, Corey Graves. Kevin Patrick is a horrible reminder, and the next thing you know, Miz comes out, said he was gonna accept Seth Rollins' open challenge, which I was like, okay. I was like, okay, that's cool. You weren't gonna win, but okay. And then he said he was gonna have his own open challenge, and next thing we know, we see the return of Tommaso Ciampa, a guy we haven't seen in about 9 months due to a hip surgery. Last time we seen him, he was with The Miz. The current plans were for Ciampa to accept Seth's challenge, but Triple H did not want him to lose in his first match back, which I think that's just Triple H giving out the big respects to Ciampa, because we all know Ciampa's a Triple H guy, and we all know Ciampa is going to get pushed major now with the comeback. And the comeback, Seth Rollins or The Miz versus Ciampa, I thought it was good. I thought they, for the time they had, I think they did really well. Ciampa looked amazing. Miz looked good, but his record's now 0-25 this season, or this year, not this season though, this year alone. So Miz needs to get some wins back up, because right now he's just jobbing out to everybody, it seems like now. Ciampa, like I said, I'm happy he's back. He looks better. He had a backstage talk, not on the show, but like on their social media page later on that night, and he cut an amazing promo. Man, that just shows what really Triple H is gonna get cooking here with Ciampa, and I'm just really excited to see Ciampa back. He's really what Raw's been needing right now, is a guy like Ciampa. So that was a great start to Monday Night Raw. But then after that, Judgment Day came out. Rhea started off with Rhea hyping everybody up with her dominating the women's division, even though she hasn't even really faced anyone in the women's division. And I'll get to that here in a little bit. And then Finn Balor She says he's gonna win that, win the world title. Damian Priest is gonna win Money in the Bank, and then Dom faces is gonna beat Cody Rhodes, and then Dom or Rhea Dom says that Cody Rhodes better get 2 partners for a 6-man later on in the night, which he did, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But with this whole tease with the Judgment Day getting split up, I'm not a big fan about the whole Judgment Day splitting up. But if they have a thing where Damian Priest or Finn Balor get into a little bit of a sneeze, I'd be okay. But Dom and Rhea are perfect for Judgment Day. It's just what are they gonna do with Finn Balor and Damian Priest? So we got a backstage interview with Kevin Owens, and of course, got to bring every time a Bloodline segment or problem happens, they got to talk to Sammy and Kevin. And Kevin, of course, the last couple weeks he's been blowing up a lot. And Sammy's like, well, Kevin, you're a rageaholic. And he's telling Kevin he has an anger problem. Kevin goes, I don't have an anger problem. I'm like, Kevin, come on now. You got an anger problem. So Sammy said he'll drop it if Kevin doesn't have 1 blow up the rest of the night. And Kevin's like, okay, cool. And I like the callback with Corey Graves. Maybe Dr. Shelby can help. I'm like, if Dr. Shelby can help Kane in a way, I think Dr. Shelby can help Kevin Owens. So, but that was a little funny segment. But Kevin and his blowouts, man, it's gonna cost something. Katana Chance, Kaden Carter face Chelsea Green, Sonya Deville. Another little quick match. I thought Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, they need some build up because, I think after their match with Shayna and Ronda, they needed that little build up. It just sucks that Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville have to be the ones to lose. But before the whole match, there was a TikTok little phone scrolling of Chelsea Green being a Karen. It was definitely going to be one of those segments where, it's either going to be really good or really bad. For me, though, I like how they made something different. It was something different there. It's like for a little bit, it's like, what's going on here? But Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, got to the ring. Well, they also showed why they were going to have a match. And that's something I like, is how they have to show, is when they show why they're having the match. Because you can't just sit there and say, oh, we're going to have a match for no reason kind of thing. Because AEW does it, but, we'll find out either after the match or during the match what's going on. And there's sometimes where they just don't even tell a single thing. It's like, what the hell's going on here? But, they had the match. In a quick little match, I thought Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, again, I feel like they could be one of the best tag teams in the women's division right now, even though I think they need to split the women's tag division altogether. And Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, I feel like once we find out who wins between Isla Dawn and Alba Fire and Shayna and Ronda, we'll finally get the interaction between one of them. But I think they should. They have a reason to face both teams because they lost to both teams so far. But all I know is that they're gonna be one of the best tag teams in WWE right now. So is Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. I just feel like they need to get the proper heel heat coming in and stop having. And I'm not saying stop the Karen gimmick because I love the Karen gimmick, but make it more heat for everyone. And then we got a little promo with Cody Rhodes coming out to the ring, or coming out to the side, and he accepts Dom's challenge. As usual, he's gonna accept. So we got the match later on the night, but I'll talk about that later. Then we got Indus Sher defeating Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. And man, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, I think they need to take him to NXT for how underutilized and how underrated them two are. Shelton Benjamin, I know, would get over in NXT. Cedric Alexander, I know, would get over in NXT. Because, they got the beating they got from Indus last night. And, man, I love how they're building Indus. The way they're building Indus is so perfect, to be honest. It's just one of those tag teams that we haven't seen be as much as dominant in a while, and then having Jinder as manager fits the mold. And I like to see Jinder as a wrestler, but him as a manager is just a little bit better in my opinion, based off how he presents himself to the ring and to the audience and everything. It's just how he presents himself is really what gets my attention, and I like what they're doing with Indus. So, and Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, I think they need to go to NXT. I think they can rebuild themselves, reinvent themselves. Because NXT is not just developmental; it's also to help reinvent some people's careers. And I feel like what they did with Natalya last night, that could be a place where she could go. So, in like a trade or something. So, and Logan Paul came to the ring. We got our in-ring promo with Logan Paul. Man. Give me a second here. Okay. Logan Paul declares himself into Money in the Bank. And I have already spoke about this before. I don't care that he's in the match as long as he doesn't win the match. Because there have been the same people that are hyped about Logan Paul winning it, or some people that are about it, are the same people that bitched about Brock Lesnar being a part-time champion for 3 years, or Roman Reigns last year when he was out for a month and a half or 2 months. So just because Logan Paul is more athletic than him and has more, is just because he has a bunch of high spots, doesn't mean he needs to win Money in the Bank. There's only one man, and it proved last night, there's only one man that really should win Money in the Bank, and that's LA Knight. LA Knight, everyone came out. Everyone got their pop. Shinsuke, I think, besides LA Knight, Shinsuke got the loudest pop of them all, because it's Shinsuke. LA Knight comes out, and the whole stadium freaking went nuts. The whole crowd went nuts when they heard LA Knight come out. And LA Knight's promo skills are top notch. It's like, why not pull the trigger right now? The man's 40. I know, it doesn't. We don't know how long LA Knight wants to go for now. Like, we don't know how long he wants to go for. You need to put the trigger on it right now and pull this thing and go right into it. That's the way I feel that they should do with LA Knight. LA Knight, he's talented in the ring. He's underrated in the ring at that. He's amazing. If The Rock and Stone Cold had a love child, LA Knight would be that person. He fits the mold. Like, if he was in the Attitude Era, he would be probably one of the best stars because of how he talks right now. If he was in the Ruthless Aggression Era, he would be one of the top stars. If he was in the PG era, if he was in any era of wrestling, he'd be the top star. That's how you know when a good wrestler or a good superstar is an amazing superstar or an amazing super wrestler. Is when they can fit in every mold of each era. LA Knight would fit in the 80s, he'd fit in the 90s, he'd fit in the 2000s, he'd fit in the 2010s, and he fits now. That's how you know he's that damn good. Just saying. But I gotta give props to Butch though for coming in the ring and punching Logan Paul. So, but back to Logan Paul, announcing Money in the Bank. Like I said, I don't care if he's in it because we're gonna have high spots. But if he wins it, I am not. You're gonna see me rant about it because it's not going to be good. It is not going to be good whatsoever. You know, it's not going to be a good thing for anybody. And I'm just... And people talk about they want star power. There's your star power. Logan Paul's your star power. And guess what? If he wins, that you guys wanted the star power, boom, they gave you star power. Logan Paul, in my opinion, should not win. He shouldn't. He doesn't need a title. He doesn't deserve a title. Well, if he wrestled, if he was like a current wrestler and he wrestled every week, yeah, I'd consider him Money in the Bank winner. Give him a title. But he only wrestles once every 3 months. And I think the only time we're going to see him is Money in the Bank, and we'll probably get to see him at SummerSlam. And then guess what? We're not going to see him up until probably Royal Rumble. And then guess what? After Royal Rumble, we're probably not going to see him until probably a couple weeks before WrestleMania. And then reverse it right back to where we are now. Like I said, that's not the kind of guy you want to have on briefcase, unless their plans are to have him around full time and have this little run week to week. Go right ahead, but right now it ain't gonna help me nothing. So, I gotta give props though to Matt Riddle and Liquid Kaiser. They had a banger match. One of the best matches of the night, in my opinion. Without the main event, that would be the best match. Liquid Kaiser, in my opinion, is underrated in the ring, underrated on the mic. We got to see how Giovanni Vinci was as a singles guy in NXT, and they were doing good with him. If they can get Liquid Kaiser at some point to be a singles guy, I feel like he'd be a champion. He just fits everything in today for... he'd fit in that role that Giovanni Vinci would have fit in NXT. But right now, I don't think they need to split up Imperium, so we don't need to think about that. But Matt Riddle defeated Liquid Kaiser in a banger match. The ending was perfect with the suplex and boom into the Styles Clash type. I don't know what they call it. But then after that, Gunther took out Riddle, and then Giovanni Vinci, or Liquid Kaiser took him out after that. It was a Bro Derek, my bad. That's what the name was called. Gunther and Riddle is probably and this Riddle now is a lot better than what we've gotten over the last year and a half. Like, this Riddle now is a lot better. And I feel like with this Riddle, he could get he could be in potential to beat Gunther for that title. Because now we're at that point is who's going to defeat Gunther. Because now he's been over 300 days with the title. He's going up. He's over a year with the title now. Now he's got to wait for him to break the record. And now it's like, when do you want him to lose? Like, when do you want him to lose the title after that and go up to main event status? So, and like I said, Riddle, he's one of those guys, and I feel Riddle he has the talent, and he can talk, and Gunther has the ring talent, and he can talk. Put him in the ring, it's going to be one of the best matches. And then afterwards, Matt Riddle got there was a backstage thing with Riddle, where pretty much he couldn't put any on the leg that Gunther and Liquid Kaiser attacked with. He couldn't walk on it. So I don't know if that was actually an injury, because it looked like it was a real injury going on, or if that was just part of the storyline. Hopefully it's just part of the storyline, not real, because it looked real for a second. So Chad Gable and Otis, of course, having another week of entertainment with Maxine Dupree. Prior to their match, we got a little bit of a segment with Chad Gable teaching Maxine how to wrestle. And this week it was a suplex And Otis got them hips. Otis definitely got them hips. And Otis and Chad they've made this whole thing work, and it's supposed to be comedy in the way it looks like, but they're making it work. It's like a good thing. And in my opinion, the way they're getting over now, I think they need to go for the tag titles. Give them the tag title shot. Boom, they're gonna be future tag champions once again. But they had a match with the Viking Raiders. I thought the match was all right. Wasn't really big into it, unless Chad Gable. Oh, Otis and Ivar, I thought they did pretty good. I noticed one thing. I think Ivar might be losing some weight because he is looking a lot slimmer now than what he did a couple months ago when they came back. So that's a good thing to see there. And then Otis and Ivar, the big beefy men, beefing meat, slapping meat. We need to get a singles match with them too. That would be freaking amazing. And then Chad Gable, every time that man comes in the ring, he is perfection. Singles run, he is going to be the Kurt Angle of this generation, I fear. And then Eric, I feel like Eric, he just gets slapped in the mold. He's good. He's underrated, in my opinion. And you got Valhalla and Maxine Dupree, which we'll probably get a singles match out of them too soon. Which they need to do something with Valhalla because she hasn't done anything. It's like, give us Valhalla. Give us a match, please. But Maxine hit Valhalla with a suplex, and then Eric pinned Chad Gable for the win. So, like I said, it wasn't really like a big match. It was just one of those rivalry matches they've been dealing with the last couple weeks. So, after that, there was a backstage segment with Judgment Day. Dominic said it doesn't matter who Cody picks because Judgment Day are all on the same page. Rhea, of course, said they were, but asked if Finn and Damien were on the same page, and Finn goes, eh. And Damien assures that they're good, and Rhea goes out for a match with Natalya, which wasn't even a match. It wasn't even a match. Like, give me a break. It wasn't even... It's like Rhea came out, before Natalya's... And the last couple weeks, Natalya's been making these, like, assumptions like she's going to retire or something. And, Rhea Ripley just attacked her. Killed her. It was really just one of those, like, eh. It's like, why? It's like, they need to give Rhea some major competition, which I'll get into that here in a second. And she just brutalized Natalya. Up, down, sideways. Pretty much brutalized her. Which makes it seem... Which it looked like they're giving her... This was like a retirement... Like, this is a way to send her off somewhere. NXT, perhaps? I'm just saying. But then after that, Raquel had an interview saying, she didn't like how Rhea did her way with Natalya, and then there was a stare down between Raquel and Rhea. And I'm telling you right now, if they get a Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley match, ooh, that about to slap. That about to slap harder than freaking Stephanie McMahon slaps. That's how good it's going to be. And that's probably the closest thing that Rhea's got to competition besides probably Becky or Zoe Stark. And I'm just being honest. Like, the women's roster for Monday Night Raw is so weak. Besides with them three. Trish, after SummerSlam, we're probably not going to see her. And then Raquel, Becky, and Zoe Stark are probably like the only three that I can really think on top of my head that are real threats to Rhea. Unless Ronda and Shayna become singles competitors, and you probably put them two in there too. But Ronda needs to get better at some aspects of her character. So, Trish Stratus and Raquel had a match, Money in the Bank qualifier match, and I thought it was all right. I feel like there were some spots that were messed up. They were like botched kind of spots. Trish, I noticed Trish can still sell. She can sell anything at that point. Trish made Raquel look really strong. She looked like powerful. And that's something that they needed someone to do for Raquel, is make her look strong. And we all thought Raquel was going to win. Boom, Becky comes out and accidentally takes out Trish. And, Trish gets her match. Raquel was not happy about it, which I feel like we'll probably get Raquel into it later on. Becky, I've noticed Becky was saying about the Money in the Bank, everyone besides Zelina Vega has been rivals with her. I feel like Io Sky could be the only one that doesn't really go after her in the aspect of the match, because I still feel like we're getting that babyface turn from Io Sky, and that's gonna be about to be electric. But with the match with Zoe Stark and Raquel, I thought it was alright. There were some botches in there, and Trish made Raquel look strong, which was good. We got a Braun Breaker interview, and Braun Breaker first time on Monday Night Raw since he won the NXT title, saying that it doesn't matter how hurt Seth was, pretty much he was still gonna have to wrestle. Seth after that says it doesn't matter how hard he is, he was gonna wrestle. So we still got the match tonight with Braun Breaker and Seth, which is about to be an absolute banger matchup. So Bronson Reed faced Shinsuke Nakamura, and I don't know what is it with Bronson Reed coming out. The crowd goes silent, but the minute Bronson Reed goes for a tsunami, the crowd pops. It's like, if you knew he was going to do something big later on, why don't you just pop when he comes out, man? Like, Bronson Reed, he's going to be one of the future stars. And it's just, how is he going to get the crowd, how is he going to get over with the crowd? I think the only way he gets over with the crowd was the tsunami. When he gets up there, the crowd pops up. And, when he splashes down, boom, he gets popped. And I think we got a little bit of a teaser with Ricochet, a heel turn. If you noticed that during the match with Shinsuke, Ricochet came out and said, or pretty much just said, keep going. He was teasing a heel turn. Which, if we get a Ricochet heel turn, it could be bad and good. And there's also been, and I said this about with Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara, you guys that can be heels but can't be babyfaces, but you guys that can be babyfaces and not heels. Shinsuke or Ricochet might be one of those guys that can't be a babyface but can be a heel. And I am not 100% sure if we got a heel Ricochet. I never watched fully the Black and Gold NXT days back then because I was always about NXT Raw and SmackDown. But I'll have to go back and notice if they ever have, because if they have and it was good, it could be better now. So, but they're teasing a Ricochet Shinsuke rivalry though. I like that, or all three of them. I like how they're building all three of them right there. Two guys that you can call mid-carders, and one guy in Shinsuke who can be a mid-card guy and a top guy at the same time. So, but Bronson Reed beat Shinsuke. I thought it was a good match. Bronson Reed, man, I'm just hoping that he gets more over later down the road. And then we get into the main events: Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens versus Judgment Day, and that match was a banger from start to bottom. And we got our first ever Dom's a Pussy chance during Monday Night Raw, which I thought was good. Cody Rhodes won, or Cody Rhodes, Sami, and Kevin won. And it was one of those things where it's like none of them could really afford a loss going into Money in the Bank. If you notice, like, Kevin and Sami can't afford a loss again to Judgment Day. Cody Rhodes can't afford a loss. Dom can't afford a loss. Finn can't afford a loss. And Damien can't afford. So, like, if they would have had a disqualification at some point, it would have made sense. But they really didn't have that. So I was like, damn, that's a shock, because like none of them could really afford a loss at that point. I'm just hoping, because when they get into O2 Arena with Cody and Dom's about to get the biggest booze of his life. Like, that man gets heat. Like, when you think about top heels now, and I said this yesterday, Bully Ray was my top heel of the year right now. Dom is up there when it comes to heel and when it comes to heat. Like, yeah, MJF, he's a heel, but a true top heel gets heat like Dom and Bully Ray. And, that's what really gets me, kind of thing. Like, that's what really gets me. with when it comes to heels. When that's all you're getting is booze. So, but we do got a new pay-per-view. Well, Payback will be in September. Fastlane will be in October. Great to see those two pay-per-views back. So yeah, that's all I really got today. Y'all have a good day. Stay blessed. Tomorrow we'll get NXT reviews, and then Thursday, you already know, we'll get Dynamite reviews. So y'all have a good day.